Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome back to the Misunderstood Show. Today we have Patricia. She's an amazing realtor, investor, health and wellness coach, advice giver, tell you like it is, tell you the truth. She's a good friend. She's a good Christian. I can't say enough about how much I adore her, and I'm so excited to have her on the show today. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes,
today,
thank you.
Today's a little stormy, a little bit of traffic.
Yes, indeed. I'm so grateful to have gotten here safely.
We love I-45, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been a little bit of a wild weather this year, right?
Yeah. A lot of rain like I've never seen before.
Yes. And lightning.
Yes.
The lightning at my house is, my poor dog is terrified of lightning. And we've had lightning strike by our house like 5 times.
Oh my goodness.
Like a tree behind my house was hit. Now our fans on our patio don't work. It blew the fans out. So, because it was like an add-on, so they're not grounded with the rest of the house. And my friend, who's like my friend, he's actually like my cousin. He was married to my cousin for 20 years, and then we stayed friends, so I still call him my cousin. But he came over, and he's like fixes houses and remodels and does new construction. He knows all this stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you probably had lightning or something hit, and it probably blew it out, and you'll probably have to replace both fans." I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that. He's like, because usually when you do add-ons, when they put the concrete, they don't drill real far.
Right.
Or something.
I just took a foundations class yesterday or the day before,
and
we're talking about that. The when they put additions on, the foundation is almost always an issue. Unless it's done in a very specific, particular, very expensive way. There's almost always some kind of difference.
Right. Yeah, and ours is like slanted a little bit. I mean, it's fine. It's actually a really nice patio. It's got like a wood ceiling and you know, it's nice. I'm not really complaining. It just stinks that the fans aren't working because it's hot, and we turn them on high and it just keeps away like mosquitoes and flies and everything. So now we're having to use like our industrial fan.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just like, I just had the kids power wash everything because my son started power washing and landscape, and he bought a new power washer, and all the kids want to use it, you know, and I'm like, cool, here, power wash the back patio.
Yeah.
But anyway, that industrial fan, when my husband pulled it out, I guess it got wet or something, and like there's like black stuff like leaking out everywhere from like the metal.
Oh my gosh.
And so now I'm like, y'all are gonna power wash again. They're like,
yeah.
What? Now they don't want to do it because it's not new anymore, you know?
Right.
But yeah. So anyway, so tell everybody a little bit about you, like where you're from, what got you here.
I was born in Germany because my father was in the Army. So I was born on a U.S. Army base, and we moved around a little bit when I was small. But we've been in Houston, and my parents still live kind of south Houston since 1983. So most of my life, consider myself a Texan.
So you lived in Germany, what, 3 or 4 years?
No, only 6 months. Only 6 months.
Wow.
And then, but I go back to Europe as often as I can because I love to travel. It's one of my passions.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else? I have several passions. One is art. I really love art.
Oh, yes, she paints.
She
painted me this little thing.
Oh, a portal. Yes, I did show you that portal. I have one here. Here's one of many portals that I paint. So these have intentions with them. I wasn't going to jump into this right away, but since we're talking about it, with my listings in real estate, I do these intention portals for
your clients.
The right buyer. In the beginning, it was the certain price point to close on a certain date, and I've just been shown that there's so many dynamics, as you know, in real estate, that you cannot call that price or the close date. I mean, this isn't magic, you know. It's so the intention with those portals is the right buyer, and that pretty much encompasses everything. So they get the right price, the right person for that piece of land, the right closing date, the right cost, the right terms, and all that stuff. So it's been pretty fun, and I've had some interesting experiences with people taking my portals and removing my portals, and so it's been interesting. So
taking them and removing them, like from your listings.
Yes, there was one where I had it was an occupied property, and it was going to be sold, and I'm not even really sure what happened, but the tenant just really got sideways with me. I'm hearing this from the seller. I didn't even know, but there was a day that the painters were there painting the property after she had moved out, and I asked him to please look in a certain cabinet where I had positioned the portal, and he said, yeah, it's here in the kitchen. He said, but I thought it was the tenants. He says, because while I was here painting, she came back around and said she needed to get some stuff, and she came inside to wash her hands, and she pulled it out and looked at it, and he said she set it out by the trash. I was like, okay. So it's been a fun ride, and but in addition to art, I have a huge passion for health and wellness. And with everything going on in the world and in anyone's individual life, it's just so important to connect with this beautiful physical body that we've been given, because it holds your spirit, and you want it to be as high a vibration as it can be. Yes. So what you consume is so important, to understand what it is you're consuming. And that's for food, but everything, the people, the energy,
lotion.
The lotion,
makeup.
the TV, the environment, and
true.
All those things are so important. So I kind of want to say this because it has to do with my artwork and what I am still going to debut very soon. We're working on this podcast called Ask the Art Angel. Still working on it. It's going to happen. It is happening. I have felt a strong calling from Spirit, from God, whatever you would like to call that, all that is, to talk to people about hope, basically, that art can be used as an alternative healing modality. I do believe that it helped me through a lot of my early years. I was born with clinical depression. It runs in my mom's side of the family.
And is it kind of like a chemical balance that you kind of inherit?
That is what I had for 25 years. And I experienced a miracle on January 1st of 1998. I was in a hotel room with a bunch of girlfriends because we had decided it was New Year's Eve, and we were not going to drive home. So we were downtown, and we had rented a hotel room and out, having a good time, whatever. But then when I woke up in the morning, I remember looking at my hands and thinking that it was like the first time I had seen them. And then someone else woke up and they called me Patty. And I was like, who is Patty? Because for my first 25 years, I went by that name. So it was like this interesting renewal and with that change came a removal of that depression. So for several months, I had that quick overnight realization of the difference between situational irritation and upset, chemical depression, which is what I had for 25 years, and actually being depressed about some reason. Because I really didn't have reasons to be depressed. I mean, I had difficulties, I can get into some of those issues and stuff, but I knew that I shouldn't feel sad. And so as a takeaway from that, when that happened to me, it did a couple things. It made me feel a lot of compassion for people who have chemical imbalances.
Right.
Because at least the way I experienced it, and the way I'm sure many others, and probably to even greater degrees, you can't talk yourself out of it. You can't get up out of it. But like I said, I believe with my artistic pursuits, because I love to bake and to make cakes and do all the decorating stuff. And we did door decorations when I was in dance team, and I did all those things. And so a lot, and I played violin and loved to sing.
Were you painting all the girls' faces when you were doing?
I wasn't painting very much back then. I remember finger painting a lot, and I remember my mom washing off our hands with Fantastic. And she's like, I found out later that was so bad for you. I'm so sorry about that. I'm like, Mom, it's okay. It's a little bit of exposure to some chemicals. But no, back then it was more cooking and baking. But I was a little bit of a chubby kid. I was a little fatty patty. I heard that a little bit. And so I had this.
I cannot imagine that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. But I think the reason I'm not that way now is because I was so obsessed about it when I was young, and everybody else was living this carefree life, eating fast food and junk. And I was just like, I was figuring it out. I was like, okay, this kind of fat and that kind of stuff and carbs. And except I did live through the 90s when they were telling us that fat-free was everything. So we were eating sugar like crazy, which was killing your gut biome and all those things we were doing, and had skin problems and all those things. So after this happened, when I had this miracle.
Gotta love the 90s.
I gotta love the 90s. I remember having this sort of conversation with God, like, why did I go through that? How am I supposed to tell this story? Like,
so that you can help other people that have been through it. Or going through it.
Yeah, I felt like it was, and I still feel like it was also not, it was, yeah, you're right. You're right, because being around someone who has experienced whatever it is, they've gotten over an addiction, or they've, been through abuse and they've overcome it, or financial woes and they've overcome it. Being in their energetic field, listening to what they do, modeling if as it were, but just hearing their story, there's an energy to that sort of overcoming that is golden. So there's that piece. But the bigger thing in the past few years, and the reason for the podcast and talking about art as a way to provide hope, it's hope. At the core of all of it, is my point is, I just feel like God wants me to tell people that there are, to simplify it, I guess, there are aspects of the way that your mind works and the way that information is conveyed to you that is not talking, and it's not reading, and it's nothing like that. And,
right.
and it can be dance, and it can be baking, cooking.
Of course. Well, there's like that whole homeless or like addiction homeless community near Austin that old man started. And they have crafts and art and all this stuff. And he's healing thousands of people from homelessness and drug addiction and all this stuff.
I don't even know about that one.
He's on Joe Rogan. I don't know his name.
Okay.
I'm sure we could look it up. But he's like an older guy, and it's outside of Austin somewhere. He bought a bunch of land and but there's strict guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be, screwing up. You have to be making an effort and going to your therapy and doing activities and participating in the community and pulling your weight and all this kind of stuff. So, if you just want to come out there and, do nothing.
But I love that. I absolutely love that.
He's healing a lot of people.
I was going to say, and then again, being in a community of people who are on that path
together.
And,
so they're supporting each other, but they're doing a lot of art, and then they're able to sell the art. I think some of them.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking of, there's a place where I think some type of special needs, it's like Brookshire or Brook.
They do a lot of art with special needs and.
Right. Right. Yeah. To give them a sense of accomplishment, plus it helps to I really can't explain it. I mean, and I don't call what I do art therapy because that is its own heading, but it is kind of like that. I
think you can call it what you want.
Right. The reason I don't call it art therapy is because there are certified art therapists and all those things. And I'm like, I'm not even saying that's what I am, because this is more of trusting in the unknown as it were, trusting in the unseen. And on that note, I feel you were talking earlier before we started or about wind.
Yeah.
Were you? I don't know if we were on air yet, but
yeah, we were talking about Amarillo and how the wind there is just insane. I lived there for 3 months, and I was like, I can't handle this. So windy.
Yeah. So wind is mentioned in the Bible in a particular place in John 3:8, where Nicodemus is saying, how can you be born again? What does that really mean? He's like, if I'm a grown man, how can I be born again? And Jesus says, and it's about the mystery of the way that wind moves. He's saying nobody knows where exactly, what it animates the wind and where it goes when it disappears. So
and it can disappear like that.
Yeah.
Just like a tornado.
It's like, here it is. And then where did it go?
A tornado is made out of wind. It's here, then it's not. You never know.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
And the point of bringing that up is there are patterns and repeated, they call it like fractal patterns. There are many things in our world and in our natural being and in our experiences and in our knowledge base that are repeated patterns. Like it's like the same amount of outer space, same percentage of outer space. They say like 96%. I don't even know. How do you measure something that you don't know what's there? But they're saying it like about 96% is dark matter or dark energy. So
that'll change.
Scientists,
they're always changing these things.
Right. But in the similar fashion, that's also the amount which I could more easily see them being able to volumetrically compute how they come up with a percentage on the under the sea. So in the oceans, they say it's about 96% that is unexplored.
Right.
So if
we don't know what's down there.
Yeah. So if you think
that's
about
where the aliens live.
If you think about
which
that.
We were just talking earlier. I was talking to somebody earlier about the aliens living in the bottom of the ocean, and my great uncle told me, because they just came out and admitted it, in the last couple of years, that they're real.
Who did?
The government.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. But they did it in a real nonchalant way where a lot of people were like, they did? And I'm like, yes, they did. They finally admitted it. They have the aircraft. They have the bodies. My great uncle, worked in intelligence and Air Force. He lived in Abilene. I lived in Abilene for a while, and I was over there one day. They were very Christian. Always had the Bible out, always studying the Bible. They're most honest country farmer, just your good old never drank in their life, never told a lie kind of people. These are people I had standards. It was very high standards. I was not ever going to meet these standards is how I always felt. I just felt like they were so good, and everything that they told me, I knew it was the truth. And he told me this matter of fact that he was there when they brought the spacecraft. He saw the bodies and everything. And he told me that they live in the bottom of the ocean. Well, now they're all coming out with all this stuff that they live in the bottom of the ocean because they're always near oceans and Mexico and all this stuff. And that this whole thing with Antarctica that's going on, but he told me that they're the angels and demons that live among us. Now that was his own, that's what he believes. That was not a fact, but he told me he believes that they are the angels and demons that live among us.
What about the center of the earth? Supposedly there's another sun inside.
Well, now they're saying it's actually not.
What is actually not?
They're debunking that. They don't actually know what's in the center of the earth.
Oh, I don't know that the government's admitted it yet, but I strongly believe that there is a whole nother world in there. I do.
Yeah, the angels and demons.
I don't know about angels and demons. That's really interesting. Unless on the earth,
why
then,
not?
I mean, hey, like again, patterns, there's angels and demons living on this surface. That's for sure. How can I have some such sweet people like you and I?
Form. It says in the Bible they can take human form.
Right. But then
I think Elon Musk is an alien himself. Dude is weird.
But okay. I mean, I feel like an alien,
Katy Perry, she might be an alien. I mean, we don't know. There's all these
she did sing that
lizard
song.
People, that their eyes they're saying that they catch them. I mean, Men in Black. I'm like, that movie, I feel like there's some truth to it.
Oh, for sure.
And then we were talking earlier about the Bigfoot thing.
For sure.
There's a Bigfoot out here now. And when you leave, you'll see a Bigfoot. Apparently, now Conroe is known for Bigfoot because there's, the same Houston forest is like a hot spot for Bigfoot sightings. Like the most sightings, some of the most sightings, like here in Washington State are the most sightings of Bigfoot anywhere. They're everywhere all the time. The government is out here paying scientists to try to prove or find or whatever. But they figured out, we had a scientist come to Lions Club, and he was telling us, because people are like, why don't you find the bodies? If they're out there, where's the bodies? And he's like, they're cannibals. They eat the body and it regenerates. And so you'll never, because they found teeth, the way the teeth wear, they can see that it's like cannibalistic. They find like bone, like pieces of bone where you can see that it was eaten on. And they're cannibalistic and they're eating the body so that you never find the body.
Interesting.
And that's why they smell so bad, because they eat each other when they're dead, because they smell like a dead animal. So I experienced Bigfoot in Montgomery. I don't know if I ever told you this.
We talked about it a little bit. I would love to see one.
I kept smelling something. The whole 2 years we lived there, you'd smell it for like 20, 30 minutes, and you'd hear stuff in the woods. But we had so many animals and stuff. You never know if it was a deer or rabbit or what, raccoon. You don't know. But we would hear like something in the woods, and you would smell like this smell. It smelled like this is what it smelled like to me. It was like a dead animal, a wet dog, and BO all mixed together.
Ugh. Wow.
And I smelled it. Well, then our internet, my kids, we thought the house was haunted, and we kept hearing stuff, what we thought was in the attic. It was freaking me out. And our attic was really small. It's a 2-story house, and 2-story houses don't really have like a big attic, it's usually really small, just enough to fit like your air conditioner.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you could like go up there and like hang out and walk around. Well, one night I ended up calling the police because I was so scared.
In the attic?
My kids and I heard something in the attic or on the roof.
Oh, on the roof.
Or whatever. We didn't know, but it's a 2-story house, and it was a 2-story house that the sides are like flat. So it wasn't one of those houses where you could like get up there. So if my kids tried to call out their window, they'd go straight down. If there was a fire, they're going to have to jump. Like it's not an easy way up and down. Well, I lost internet one day, and I'm like, what happened? We just got this internet. And I'm like, it was brand new internet, and it was the best internet I'd ever had. It was what is the internet out in Montgomery now? Anyway, it was really great internet, and it went just like it was gone. I'm like, what's up with my internet? Woke up the next day, it was gone. It was the day after we heard all that stuff in the attic, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. But I called the internet company. They came out, and he was like, something ripped the wire out of the wall on the roof. Because they had wired it through the roof, because we put the box upstairs because it was the easiest way to like get the wire in. And so you don't have wires around your house. And I guess that's just the way that they say, that if you put the box upstairs, it also travels better throughout the house. And if you put it downstairs, it doesn't go up or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's how they did it. He's like, their wires ripped out. And he's like, do you know that there's like giant rocks up here? Like rocks, like this big, on my roof. Why?
Yeah, why?
And then we had heard all this stuff. Like my kids and I heard something up there. Like, we're not crazy. My kids aren't crazy. We're hearing like crashing and like something walking around. I call the police. They think I'm crazy. My husband thinks I'm crazy because he didn't live there yet. He didn't come for like 5 months. But then after my husband got there, we never had that experience on the roof anymore. And that house had been vacant for a while before we moved in too. So I guess Bigfoot was pissed off that we were there. I don't know. But then we kept smelling that smell. And my husband's like, oh, something probably just died. But I'm like, babe, when things die, it doesn't come and go as it pleases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The smell doesn't just come for 30 minutes and then go away and then come back a few days later.
Right.
And we'd always hear stuff in the woods. And it was, the woods out here are thick. You can't see through the woods here. It is thick. It's even like the bottom, like the floor is just so thick with vines and bush and all this stuff that you can't walk through the woods.
Yeah.
I'm from the hill country. There's like a canopy at the bottom. You can get around.
Right.
Like cedar trees and oak trees don't grow at the bottom.
Right.
And we don't have all this like weird, because it doesn't rain there a lot either. So everything dies. So cedar trees can live through drought and stuff where pine trees can't. So there's so much rain here. Everything is just overgrown. And so, Bigfoot could hide out there. You would never know.
But
what if he has some kind of like predator, like camo something where he can, like lizards can like change colors.
Right, but
what if he can change colors?
See, I haven't studied this very much, but my understanding was that, yes, sightings, especially in heavily wooded areas, but not something I'm not saying you're wrong at all, but I've never heard that it would like pursue actually climbing onto a house. And
so this, I didn't really know. I never even thought once when this was all happening about Bigfoot. It never even crossed my mind. Did I believe in Bigfoot? No. Bigfoot to me was Harry and the Hendersons, okay? I did not believe in Bigfoot. Now, I'm from Canyon Lake, and if you go to Wimberley and up around Canyon Lake, there's a lot of sightings, and they have like Bigfoot posters, and we just thought it was like a joke, right? Just to get tourists or what not. Well, I'm at Lions Club one day, and this guy is talking like a matter of fact. Has his doctrine and like some kind of science thing. He works for the government. He's down here in the woods proving that Bigfoot is real. He's like, we have a ton of evidence. He's like, there are hundreds of thousands of sightings. Hundreds of thousands. He's like, hundreds of thousands of people are not crazy. He's like, there's just no way to deny it. And he's just talking like matter of fact. And of course, everybody's laughing, all these old men. But he's telling stories about how men had been hunting out in these woods for 30 years. And they would have an experience and they would never go back. They were so terrified. They would never go back to places their family had hunted on their whole life. And they would never, these are like grown, good old boys.
But men. Are they aggressive or are they just?
They said that so what they say what they'll be at like they're hunting, like their little blind or whatever. And they would throw rocks. So he's like, yeah, they would throw rocks at us. He's like, I've had rocks thrown at me. And I'm like, oh my God, Bigfoot. Bigfoot was at my house because he threw rocks on my house. Like, I'm not crazy. And everything in my body was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's when I went down my Bigfoot path. And so ever since I'm like, I think he's real. And I know people think I'm crazy.
Didn't you have one of those people on the show?
I had an attorney who saw Bigfoot in his neighborhood in Wood Forest twice and reported it to the government. And there's like a whole government, like there's a site called BFO something. It's a government site. You can go on and see all the sightings and all the people that when they make reports and stuff, they have to verify it, make sure the person's not crazy, and they verify the facts and all that stuff. His sighting is on there.
Wow.
Like if you go back to the show, he tells like the number and like where to go find it and all this stuff. Like he's not crazy. He's not.
No, for sure.
Like he's a funny guy and he is sarcastic. So it's like, do you know if he's is like he just being like silly? But he's like then you read this thing and it's like,
what would be the point to make something like that up?
He believes he saw Bigfoot chasing deer and it scared him. Like he was scared.
So I actually think there's a lot of things like Bigfoot that are in the same space, but we don't have the capacity to see it or sense it.
Of course.
Because I'm highly sensitive and I can feel all kinds of
people.
Yeah, almost like that. I feel more than I see, but
I think like especially kids, like kids will see dead people, right? They have a sixth sense still.
Uh-huh.
Because they're open-minded still.
Yeah, before they're told, oh, that's crazy.
We believe what we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
We really do. Because the people who believe that they can do these crazy things and end up doing them, it's because they believe it.
Oh, yeah. And I've talked to some...
if you believe you can't, then guess what? You're not going to do it.
And I've talked to some people that are telling straight up lies. And I know they're telling lies, but they're so convincing. And I'm thinking, as I'm listening to them tell this crazy lie for the 10th time or 100th time, he has actually convinced himself that what he is saying is true.
Oh, for sure.
He actually thinks that this story is true.
You can manipulate your mind. So it's funny, as I realized too, like the way that we remember things in our mind. And then I've actually gone back and like seen old pictures or gone back to a place like where I grew up. my old house I grew up in, I went inside and I'm like, this is not how I remember it.
Oh yeah.
At all.
My elementary school, in the gym, I was like, what is this? This can't be the gym that I was in.
Right. It
like
looks
it was
different, right?
Microscopic, and it was just not.
Well, I felt like I grew up in this big house and I go back to it and I'm like, oh my gosh. How
It's
did we
little
live
bitty.
here?
It's the proportion.
Our halls are like this big. Like, how did we
ever survive with one bathroom for 3 girls? I don't know.
Oh, girlfriend. I know. I have 4 brothers. I'm like, how? Our washer and dryer was in the hall, and in front of the washer and dryer, it was like, I mean, this wide.
Yeah.
You couldn't even open the dryer door all the way.
And you just dealt with it.
I used to hide my brother in that dryer. He likes to, so I talked about it on one of my shows, and he listened to it, and now he just talks all the time about how, yeah, she used to hide me in dryers. It's a good thing I could have died, like all this stuff, because he was like little, like 2, 3 years old.
Well, when you say hide him, he could get out if he needed to. Maybe.
I mean, maybe. He was pretty small.
Karen.
But we were playing hide and seek.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't turn it on.
That was good.
No, I'm surprised one of my other brothers didn't turn it on. Especially my brother Justin.
You hear like crazy stories with boys putting cats in the microwave or something.
It wasn't like that. It was like, there's always clothes in the dryer.
Right.
It was a good place to hide
it. It was soft in there. Just get in there. It's
He
just dark.
He
It's-
loved it.
Yeah.
He loved when I would hide him in the dirty clothes hamper and just always hiding him places because he's 7 years, almost 8 years younger than me. And so he was like my little, by the time he was 2, I was 10. So, he's my baby. There's so many pictures of me holding him,
Yeah.
I've changed his diapers. I gave him bottles. He was my baby. I wanted to bathe him. I wanted to dress him. And to this day, he's my favorite brother. I mean, we just have like a bond.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
Unfortunately, when I was 10, my parents separated.
Oh.
And we ended up in separate homes. Oh. So that was rough. But we always just had that. It just never goes away.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain people in your friends or your family circles that you do just have that soul connection with.
Now we have a kitten. My husband actually, I saw the cat first, and then we had to bust a Yui. It was on the 290 bridge in Burnham on the overpass. We're coming around the little clover thing to go over the overpass. And I saw this kitten this big jumping, trying to get up on the curb. There's traffic. It was terrified, I'm sure. And I was like, stop. My husband's like, what? I'm like, there's a kitten. He's like, are you serious? I'm going to have a wreck. I'm like, sorry.
To get this kitten.
It's a reaction. I just saw this little tiny kitten. It's just it's a motherly instinct.
Right.
And so I couldn't get back across the bridge. So he had to turn all the way around, come all the way back around again, and then we had to pull in. The clover is here coming around, and the road's here, like in that little triangle. He just parked in that area. And then when he ran, he was like, I will go look for the cat. You stay here. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not capable of running across a highway.
Well, that was nice of him to do it.
He's like, you're in sandals. I'm like, it's mine.
And what's the kitten's name?
So he found that cat. It had crawled over the bridge and fell where the concrete slope fell. It was fine.
Oh.
And he said when he walked up to it, it looked at him like Puss in Boots.
A super lucky day for that
and
kitty.
And now they're like this. Because I was like, we got to find that cat a home. We cannot have the cat.
Yeah.
He is determined we're going to keep this cat. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen, I've been posting videos and pictures of this little cat. And now it hangs out with my dog. It follows my dog everywhere.
That's
my dog's
cute.
just like, whatever.
It's bonding.
The dog will play with it a little bit, but it's like the cat is the size of his face.
Yeah.
So, because the cat's still really small.
Uh-huh.
She's like 7 or 8 weeks now, but he's 110 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
So it's hard for him to play with her.
Both extremes, yeah. He'll hurt her.
So we named her Brenna because we found her in Burnham.
Cute.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about all that. We got way off track here. So you do all these paintings. You are trying to find hope for people.
Yeah.
And help them find hope. And there's all these crazy energy things that you've experienced in your life that has kind of brought you to this conclusion? Because we've had some very in-depth conversations about our kind of spiritual path and experiences.
Yes. The thing about there's another quote about, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So like energies, like negative energy, whether it's attached to a person, or more often for me, it's like not attached to a person. I just feel it in a space, in an area, in an environment.
Well, objects, they say, like, they've scientifically proven that objects can carry positive and negative energy.
Yeah.
Which, like is it the Annabelle doll?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard that.
She like killed somebody recently. They like in the museum. He ended up dead.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. There's another popular kids toy right now. I don't have children, but I'm on a chat string with a bunch of my girlfriends from high school, and they all have kids, and they were talking about this. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's kind of like Beanie Babies, but it's the new Beanie Babies thing.
Oh, the ones that have like the teeth.
And they
look like a little monster.
It attaches.
My son bought 2 of them in Mexico.
So
he's like, Mom, these are the blah blah blah, and I'm like, what?
They like clip onto your backpack or something.
He bought 2 of them. One of them's red and it has red eyes and it's scary.
So this is what I'm telling you. I'm not saying it is, because I don't know for sure, or how they get it in there, but maybe you should have it exercised, because the chat amongst my friends was one of the girls
buying these, and it has
one of the girls said, you have to be careful. No, actually she said she asked her daughter, who's maybe 10, I guess, do you know what these things are? And she's like, yeah, Mom. But then she told her, but you got to be careful, because some of them are cursed. Some of them are evil or something like that. I was like, oh my God. And when
like a voodoo doll?
That's what I'm saying. Like so.
You ever seen a real voodoo doll?
I mean, go to New Orleans.
I went to New Orleans.
They're all over the place.
It was a really cool experience. We flew in a private jet from Discount Tire. Flew us in for the day to go to spend the day in New Orleans. It was kind of cool. We won this trip. And anyway, but I remember we went to walk by this place, and I just wanted to go. I just had to see it, because you see it in like the movies. And I was like, but she had real voodoo dolls. And I'm telling you, the minute I crossed through that door, like walked through the door, I felt like a pressure.
Yeah.
Inside of my like chest.
Yeah.
And then I was, I'm a photographer. I was taking pictures everywhere, and there's like entities in all my pictures. And then there was like a ghost coming down. So we went in this restaurant, because we were going to all these places that were haunted, because I'm like obsessed with, I want to know like all these things. This curiosity killed the cat kind of thing. They're like, the staff would not go in the attic, but they're like, y'all are welcome to go up there, but we don't go up there. And I'm like, really? They're like, absolutely not. So we go up there, and it's just a bunch of junk, like a storage, really, like a giant attic storage. We go up there, and on the way down, I'm just randomly clipping pictures of us coming down this really cool like stairwell, and there's a whole like mist of a person walking down the stairs behind my ex-husband. Talk about freaking me. And then I show them on my camera, and the staff is like, nope, like people probably quit that day. I mean,
the stuff is real. And so and circle back around to what I was saying, like the wind, you don't know where it goes and where it comes from, where it goes. There's a lot of things, and to reference also what I was saying about the unexplored parts of space, unexplored parts of under the sea. There are many things, even in this very hard concrete world that we are here on planet Earth with, that you cannot see,
right? And
that cannot be
explained,
contained, or explained.
It's beyond our imagination or understanding.
Beyond the understanding, for sure. And so if you've got some deep-seated trauma or some kind of a pain or a hurt that all of the release work you've tried is not working for you, or you would like to feel more free with it, that's really the crux of my message. Is there are ways that are none of the conventional things that you can think of. And it's very different for each person, I think. And
I was going to say, everybody's different, and what works for everybody is going to be different.
That's right. Just like your diet.
But I think it's also when they believe that they're going to finally heal too.
It is, and it's, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I've always hated hearing it from other people. It's about the journey, not the destination, because
it is.
Once you find, like when I finally found the right combination of foods for me, it took a long time. And I would tell anybody, you're not going to probably, and I hate to discourage people who haven't been on that health journey for a long time, with all of the landmines that we've got in our crazy food supply and the preservatives and the toxins and such. You're probably not going to be able to find a book on the shelf that's going to tell you what to. People always ask me, well, give me a diet plan. Give me a menu plan.
For every person.
It's different for every person.
And also, they say like where your origins are has a lot to do with what you should eat.
It can play into it, but it's also whatever else you have. What is your gene? What's your gene makeup? I mean, in addition to where you came from.
You don't even know.
Right. And so if you are, you have a lot of family that came from Greece or something, and you might think, okay, Mediterranean's perfect diet for me, but somehow there's a little piece from your mom or your dad that pokes in there, and vegetarian is really better for you.
Right.
Or you've been consuming a certain type of chemical unintentionally perhaps, or you've been exposed to that chemical for some reason, and that has thrown your hormones off to such a point that there's certain things in the Mediterranean diet that aren't going to work for you. So each and every one of us is so, so different and unique. And so whether it's figuring out what kind of food to eat or what kind of art is going to, and I use that term loosely, what kind of activity, because it's both as the artist and as the observer, what kind of activity is going to help you get through that, whatever your goal is. Like you were saying, it is, you have to believe, okay, look, I want to get over this grudge that I'm holding against whoever that is, my boss, and so I want to get
pray that away.
But if you've prayed and you can't get over it,
pray for your enemies.
Pray for your enemies, but you do it for yourself, and you believe. You
don't do it for them. You're not. Forgiveness has nothing to do with not holding them accountable or not saying that they're wrong. They're still wrong. What they did to you was probably still wrong, right? It doesn't mean that, and I do believe that, there's a God. Obviously, you know this. Everybody knows I'm like a Jesus freak. It's not hidden. I believe in the higher power or God bringing his own justice, that he will provide the justice. That is not my job. It is not my place to create justice. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to the police or hold people accountable or whatnot. But what I'm saying is you have to let it go. I've been through a lot this year with my son, right? Gosh. The anger that I had this year, it was very toxic. It's like literally, like they say, it's like a cancer, and it starts to eat at you. I mean, I was breaking out in hives. I hadn't broke out in hives since I was married to my ex-husband. So I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, like, I hadn't had to have cream, like eczema cream, in 5 years, and I'm breaking out in hives. I also had some things going on with my job and just different things in life. But what happened to my son is it's different when it happens to you, but when it happens to your child, it's like you feel powerless and you feel responsible at the same time. And you feel guilt and you feel anger, and you really want to go around. Like I wanted to be like Dazed and Confused with a paddle and go find those kids and beat the shit out. Like, I mean, I was mad. And I want to beat their parents too, because their parents aren't holding them accountable. Had my son done something like that, my son would be over at that kid's house doing his laundry, mowing the lawn, writing an apology letter. I mean, he would be over there helping this kid out, and he would be turning himself into the police and doing whatever it takes to make it right. But not these kids. Their parents are going to hire the best attorneys, and they're going to keep getting away with it because they've done this to multiple kids. And that's what pisses me off the most. But I can forgive.
But as you said.
But getting rid of that anger is so hard.
The vindication comes
but I prayed,
in a divine way that you may never see it. And you know that.
Right. I might not see it I may not experience it or see it, but I believe that God will provide justice, because what's going to happen, and what usually happens, as we know, is they go off to college, because that's what they just did. They're now about to start college, and they've gone off, and they think they've gotten away with all this, and they're going to go to college, and it's going to get worse. And one day they're going to meet somebody who's bigger and badder, and something bad's going to happen to them. And that's going to be the parents' fault for not holding them accountable. And that's sad to me, because I don't want any kid to be, and they're not kids, they're 18 years old, but they're still kids, right? I don't want something bad to happen to any kid. I want them to be held accountable and learn from it, right? And I want my son to have justice, because he feels like he didn't get, like the justice system is a waste of time.
Failed him.
Yeah, failed him. And that, it does not help him. That hurts him. And he doesn't understand all the things that we understand.
Yeah.
And that's very hard for me to accept. But I have prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And I finally just kind of like, especially this summer, like, I've got to let this go. I cannot, it's not on me to carry this burden. And so I do feel a lot different than I did a few months ago, because I finally just decided, because this is the thing, when we're mad, we don't want to forgive. We want to be mad. We want vengeance. And that's how I felt. I don't want to forgive them. I wanted them to be held accountable. I was going to do whatever it took to make sure they were held accountable. And when that didn't happen, and everything that I was trying to do wasn't working, and all I was doing was it was hurting me and my family, that's when I was like, I can't do this anymore. And my friend Jenny Simmonsma, who we should all pray for her right now, her husband is not doing really good. He's got ALS and brain cancer and stuff. Anyway, they were just admitted him to the hospital. But she told me something, like, it wasn't maybe a few months after all this happened last year. She goes, do not let the enemy steal your joy. Do not let the enemy steal your joy. That's what he wants. He's using other people to take your joy. That's what he does. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that just kept going through my mind. And I've been praying for her a lot because of what she's going through, because her husband kind of took a turn for the worse recently. And the more I've prayed for her, the more that has just stuck in my mind. Like, I can't, she's right.
Getting it off,
I cannot I'm allowing this thing to control me.
That's true. Although I would say that some people come to that conclusion, in my humble opinion, maybe a little too soon. I think what you did was the right thing to do. You did what you could do to see if they could be brought to justice.
Well, I needed the anger to motivate me.
But sometimes it does work out.
But it's not healthy either.
Oh, no. Up to a certain point.
Right.
Then when it became obvious, okay, it's not going to work out this way. Now I'm going to let it go.
We have another trial in September. And my son has to go and face these kids. And it's hard. So it's not over. Mm-hmm. He's the last kid that has trial. It's been delayed a few times. And what's funny is this kid, my son's like, I didn't even see this kid. This kid wasn't even there. I think he's a pawn, because there was other kids that were involved, that we know were involved, that did not get convicted. And I think he's a scapegoat.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I actually want to go to court and have my son tell the judge, I never saw this kid. His friends never saw this kid.
Right.
He's like a poor kid, and I hate to say that.
Lord have mercy.
And he's a bunch of rich kids.
Ooh.
Like, when I say rich, like, live on 5 to 10 acres in multi-million-dollar homes.
He must go tell the truth. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
My son's like, we never saw the kid in the video. There's video.
Does he say he was involved with it? Did he?
He's denying it.
Because he wasn't there.
He wasn't.
I get it.
He might have been it was a party. He might have been at the party, but
that's totally.
He does not hang out with these other kids. I can promise you, because I saw this kid.
Because he doesn't have.
There's no way.
But they did that because he doesn't have the money to fight that.
That's correct.
Ooh, that's sick. That's really sick.
Yeah, another victim to little rich.
That's awful.
Rats. It's like the Karate Kid. Remember on the Karate Kid? My son is like the Karate Kid, and these boys are just like the boys that jumped the Karate Kid. That's exactly what it makes me think about.
Terrible. So, something else on a less intense topic, but trying to get the help of the police I had recently occur. My AirPods were suddenly gone.
Oh, you told me this.
Yeah.
This is a crazy story.
My AirPods were suddenly gone. I don't know. They fell out of my purse or my bag or something. But I was tracking them all over the city, watching these people go to Memorial Herman.
I'm sorry, but it's just funny to me.
Kelsey Siebold, excuse me, not Memorial, Kelsey Siebold. And I could say the name of the address where but I won't. But it was on Exchange Street. Anyway, it was in a bad part of town, and none of my male friends or my boyfriend they were like, I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there. And so I went over there.
Part of town.
I went over there, and it has a big black gate around it, and I couldn't even, and chickens and stuff everywhere, and I couldn't even, there was no doorbell. So I'm like, anyway, make a long story short, it took a long time to get around. I'm about to give a, what do they call that? Consumer, a bit of advice for you. If you ever have something that can be tracked, you can use 911. Did you know that? This is a consumer, I can't think of the term right now, but I'm trying to help people out with it. It's a bit of advice. If you have a trackable item, such as your cell phone or your AirPods or whatever it is, and it has an AirTag on it or whatever.
I put AirTag in my purse, my backpack, all kinds of stuff.
Do not go and do what I did and call the non-emergency line and wait on that craziness. And then they call you back and then they did. Don't do that. Go to where it is, not right in front of the house or whatever it is. Go to where it is and call 911. And they're going to ask you, what's your emergency? And you just honestly tell them, I have a tracked item that's been stolen, and I'm outside in front of where it is. Now, you're not going to preempt something that's more, extreme. Like if something intense is happening, the police are not going to come, So don't think that this is a misuse of the 911. They will only come. You're going to be down at the bottom of emergencies.
Right.
But they will come. They came. Those two,
How long
the
did it
policemen,
take them to get there?
10 minutes.
Oh.
10 minutes.
So they didn't have anything else going on.
Yeah. And
they probably know the area too. They're probably close by.
Yeah. And so they went to the guy and asked him for him, and he denied it. And they came back because I was down the street a little bit. And I said, look, they're pinging right now. Look at them. They're here. And we went back over there, and the guy, they had to put a siren on to make him come out. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was just like, bad karma, dude. Really bad karma. So, people make their decisions. And they do what they're going to do.
You should have waited until they left the premises and went somewhere and they just pepper sprayed them and took them.
What do you mean it took them? They were behind a huge black gate. It was a big...
No. Wait for your AirPods to leave the premises to go somewhere public.
Are you kidding me?
And pepper spray them.
Are you kidding me?
I would.
Obviously, somebody that's not going to give them back when they have two policemen outside and I'm showing them. I said, look, here's where you've been all last week.
They don't have a choice when you pepper spray them.
I know, but what if... You're way more... cavalier than me. I mean, the very fact that I went over there by myself and was willing to knock on the door.
I would post it all over Facebook though.
Yeah.
Because remember that lady stole my boots off my porch? And I posted it on Facebook and all my friends messaged her, harassing her, and she actually paid me.
She shorted you. She still shorted you, didn't she?
$10.
Yeah.
She still owes me $10.
Oh my gosh.
She shorted me $10. I'm like, why?
If anything, she should be paying you extra for having to go through so much work to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
People are crazy.
Yeah. But the police wouldn't do anything. We had her location and everything. They wouldn't do anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, the police will do what they can, and like I said, that's a public service announcement. That's what I meant to say. That was my public service announcement, and I still need to do that. I'm going to make a little video and say proper use of the 911 call when they ask for your emergency. Just say you're outside.
See, I would have done. This is actually what I would have done. I would have taken screenshots of where they're located.
I've got dozens.
I would have taken video of where you went to find them with the black gate and all that stuff, and I would have sent it to the Grizzly Hood news lady.
You were telling me about this, yeah.
Because she would show up at their house and probably get them back for you.
I don't think so.
She goes all over town and calls people out.
Right, but if they're not going to give them back to the police, why would they give them back to somebody?
They may not give them back to her, but everybody in town's going to know.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes that's enough justice.
But then what if they know who I am then? Because they can look up everything about me.
That's why you send it to her. And you tell her to keep you anonymous, and she will. She keeps people anonymous.
Yeah, but so I kind of screwed that up because when I foolishly sent them these AirPods are lost message, I put the lost mode on so they know my AirPods are lost. Here's my phone number. So they can look at my number. I need to get a new phone number, because when you look up my number, if you've ever looked up your cell phone number on the internet as a realtor and all the other things that I've done in the city, I mean, everything comes up. So,
but it's not like they know where you live.
I'm sure they could figure it out.
Go have your address put anonymous.
Yeah, I need to do that.
People do that. Cops do it. Celebrities do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your address public.
Right. Somehow, though, I don't know how it gets out.
We got 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes. What else do you want to tell us? What else you got? I see some books over there.
Oh, well, on healthy eating, back in 2011, 2012, I published Magic Food for Me. That is a story about a little girl that when she eats the healthy food, she lights up, like all the little happy faces in her system here, so kids can see through pictures what the good food does for her, and when you eat it. And then the other kid, when he's eating the junk food, he's got like blockades and trolls and stuff, and it's got a little song that I wrote in it. If you
and
go
you
to
can
the
buy
website,
this on Amazon.
You can buy it on Amazon, and it's also at magicfoodforme.com, and I sing the song a cappella on that.
Really?
I do.
Will you sing it right now?
I do.
Will you sing a little part of it for me?
Oh my gosh.
Please.
Okay.
What a special treat. I'm excited.
It's magic food for me, you see, it's magic food for me. It's magic food for me, you see, it's magic food for me. Oh, apples and grapes and nuts, I can't wait. Pull up a chair and fill up your plate and have some red peppers and hummus too. It's magic food for me and you. It's magic food for me, you see, it's magic food for me. It's magic food for me, you see, it's magic food for me. Then there's more to it, so if you want to hear it.
I love that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So sweet.
And
you have like a very like vintage voice.
Vintage? Oh, well, thank you.
Well, your voice is kind of like, it reminds me of like back in the old times, like movies from like black and white movies.
Yeah.
The way that you sing is kind of like The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. Judy Garland?
Yes.
Oh, that's quite a compliment. Goodness.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
I love
amazing.
singing.
You're so talented
Oh,
in
thank
so
you.
many ways. You're awesome, because she's obviously one of my clients, and I love her to death. And she's like one of my favorites. She's such an amazing realtor. If anybody's ever looking for a great realtor, she's just honest, and she's does her due diligence, and she's going to make sure that everything is correct, and she's going to get you the best deal she can. She works with investors. She is an investor, but that's just such a small part of you. You have all these other talents. You paint, and your spirituality, and you're, trying to help people live better and eat better and be healthier inside and out and spiritually and all the things. And you're just doing so many good things in the world. And I think I know that you've affected so many people in positive ways. And I'm just so grateful that I know you.
Aw.
And I miss seeing you all the time at WOMTech.
Yeah. And likewise, you're an amazing person too. And the things that we go through, gosh, some of the stories that we've exchanged, it's like, I don't even call it tests anymore. I think it's the brighter you shine and the more light you bring.
So this is what I've started imagining as like trials and tribulations, is they're like little bricks to build us to what we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's funny you say that, because.
And some of those bricks are not pretty, but they are a part of it to get you where you are.
Yeah. I think of it like stepping stones. I like mine better because I don't want that brick to stay with me,
Well, I kind of imagine it like a pyramid. So you're building your pyramid. You have your foundation, right?
Yeah.
And you build this pyramid, and at the end of your life, this is the top of your pyramid. This is where it like holds your soul, right? That's it.
Right. Right.
That's what made you who you are.
Yeah. The other thing
so you can't be angry at things that happened to you, because it made you who you are.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't be the person you are. You wouldn't want to help people possibly. You wouldn't have the empathy possibly. You know what I mean? The bad things and the challenges that happen to people, I think, is really what brings out empathy and keeps people humble. Because if we just have a perfect life all the time, how are we going to have any kind of understanding of people, another person? And I say this because I've met people who really have had just pretty easy lives.
Yeah.
They lack a lot of understanding and empathy for people who haven't. And I would much rather be the person who has the empathy and understanding and able to help other people than not have had that, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. I think we're in a time where there's such extremes. There's like so much good and positive and wonderful stuff. And then there's the other complete end of the spectrum with evil and like, I can't even believe these things. So
remember the Heidi Seaman story? She was like abducted when she was like 12.
Yeah.
And she was captured and held for like 20 years or something. And she had children. And when they finally found her, she was living in like this guy's shed in his backyard for 20 years and had children with him. And she was like, she never lost her faith. She said she wouldn't change it because she had these beautiful children. I mean, she's now like this Christian advocate for helping people. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
After something like that, I probably want to kill myself.
Yeah, it is that hormesis thing.
But
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger idea. Yeah, that testing you to the edge.
And sometimes it kills people. And that's the sad part. But that's why people that have been through hard times have to help the people who are going through the hard times.
Yes, but what I as we're wrapping up here, I just want to say that I don't believe the world always is going to be this way.
No, it's not.
We're in a big major change right now, switching over into a more positive, a higher and lighter existence, so that hopefully someday soon,
Where the mark of the beast is coming.
Hopefully someday soon, people don't have to go through.
I think the mark of the beast is AI.
All AI?
No, but we think it's going to be used to make the mark of the beast.
Potentially. I mean, AI has some good aspects to it.
Have you read the book 1984 by George Orwell?
I have.
I've always just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. The way that he back then knew all these things. I don't know how he knew. The Big Brother and the cameras everywhere. They didn't have that then.
Well,
and people basically living like in the Hunger Games.
Well, there's time travelers. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh.
We got to wrap up.
We do have to wrap up, and we can have you come on again later. And we can talk about time travelers, and we can talk about your portals. And
there's a just real quickly, and I'll talk about this next time, is the wing makers. They are supposedly from about 700 years in the future, and they have these caves of incredible artwork that was very hush-hush with our government studying it. And then it kind of got squashed and manipulated and changed. And then someone came in and claimed it and tried to subvert it and all this stuff. But the outcome and the messaging from Wingmakers is very high and light and positive. And their stuff is incredible. There was like music and images on the walls.
Kind of like fairies?
No.
What are Wingmakers? Explain that.
That's just what they call these people. Actually, I've asked many times, what is the wing part? Like, what is this? Or are we
I'm
maybe
imagining like fairies running around making stuff?
I'm thinking it's bringing us back to our angelic aspects. That's how I see it. But I can't seem to find, every time I get off on rabbit trails looking at the stuff and reading about it and finding out of how discombobulated it's become. But actually, I spoke about this a couple of years ago at Between Jobs Ministries at a church. And all this even when I talk about it, it's like all this information starts coming in. So anyway, we'll have to wrap up because it's a big subject. But there are several locations where supposed time travelers from the future have put these collections of art, music, art, images, and
like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Very, very interesting. Exactly. Yeah, something like that.
Not quite, but I mean, I love the 90s. The movies from the 90s were so great.
Yeah.
And the 80s too.
Yeah.
They just don't make movies like that anymore. My kids love the old movies too. Right?
Yeah.
You a movie girl?
I do. I love movies.
I love movies. Yeah. So we do have to wrap it up or have you come back on again.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is so fun. And
I know. I'm so excited.
I am just so grateful, and I look forward to debuting the. Is this being videoed? Mm-hmm. It is being videoed. Okay, so like I've said it a few times, but because it's kind of, is that where they see it? So this is the address, asktheartangel.com, and if you want to get in touch with me before the site is, or if when you look the site, if it's not active, you can email me at patricia@asktheartangel.com.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Patricia. You're so amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks.